Firefighters putting out a fire in negative 30 degrees Celsius weather. Man, I don't know how I'd feel about as a firefighter in that scenario. You're making this effort to get rid of this safety hazard, but as a result, you're creating water that is then going to freeze on the foot and like the walking area for everyone, which then itself becomes a safety hazard. Good job, gentlemen. We stopped this fire. Now, how do we get rid of all this excessive ice? Hey, someone start a fire. It's a Monday. I'm drinking coffee. Join me for some interesting subs. Yeah. Left hammer out in the cold while replacing floor, it froze into a cool ice axe. +2 strength, has a chance to blind or in some rare cases, freeze enemies. Only works one time but does trigger the chance for a warrant out for your arrest. I got an MRI, so I used the files to 3D print my brain and put it under glass. This person has unlocked an entirely new skill tree system in narcissism. But don't worry, they're evening out the ego of putting on their own brain literally on display. Do not use this brain. Abnormal. You know, I think I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate 3 because this brain looks too tiny for me to genuinely believe it's a human brain. But also, just to think, that little blob of flesh is a supercomputer. You might go through your day-to-day and not believe it, or see people's comments on the internet and genuinely find trouble in, How do people have a brain yet say these things? But nah, man, look, of all the evolutionary traits we could have developed as a species, I'm glad we got intelligence. For me, it came at a massive cost to my charisma, but you know what? At least I know my multiplication. Air Force Academy chips shaped like stealth bombers. It's like, they don't even look that well designed, though. I mean, really? That's where you want to put your budget into your Air Force Academy? Chips looking cute? It's less chip. Despicable. This makes me wonder, though, how would other establishments, educational places utilize this? At a private school, all their chips would look like their dad's wallet. My high school, though, definitely would have been a rip-off. All the chips would have been the shape of a tiny little pill. Not that I would have known about that sort of experience personally. No. I spent my lunch breaks racing to the computer room so I could play Halo with my friends on the computers. Telling you right now, -5 on my charisma checks all the way. This chunk of brick the ocean made smooth. Yes, it's the ocean's method of getting their way. Don't use brute force to get your way with someone. You slowly chip and sand and chisel away at the edges. Erode them subtly enough that they don't notice. And before you know it, their hard, outer, solid, square, cube shell has become all smooth and bumpy and enough to rub against a baby's bottom. What has that got to do with the baby's bottom? I don't know. My brain was just trying to think of smoothness, and I'm on a watch list now, so how you doing? Keep listening for more great takes from the guy who regrets everything he says recorded. The centerfold of my book is glowing blue. Oh no, even books are getting the RGB treatment these days. Gotta keep kids engaged in that text, but you can't obviously put a screen of Subway Surfers in the background. These subtle gamer lights are the closest thing they can get to keep the kids reading on these pages. Because as we all know, it's only the younger generations that are easily distracted and have the attention span of a goldfish, unlike anyone older. Because there's millions of lottery gambling apps that are clearly scams and just trying to get ad spam onto people's phones. They're only downloaded by people under the age of 50. Seriously, my nan, bless her soul, on her tablet had one time I visited about 20 different lottery games on her tablet. She'd just keep downloading them because they get advertised on the very one she's playing, and so she just downloads it and plays it on that one instead. She's made no progress on any of the games because she keeps downloading a new one about 10 minutes into playing. The intense cold causing the paint on our shipping door to peel. Wow, and here I thought I needed to buy a stencil to actually do some stenciling. I don't. I just need to dramatically change the climate around me. Here I was thinking global corporations were not caring about us and, human survivability. No, they just wanted to make stencil art on doors a lot easier for people. That's why we've got climate change. Oh, man. I've got this all wrong. In all seriousness, it is actually kind of cool that you can see that was the effect of the cold wind as it brushed through the, very tiny, microscopic bumps of the paint that would cause the wind to actually turn and swish around like this. And so eventually you just get these actual clean cracks just cutting through it. It's awesome. It's awesome, man. In the forest near me, there lives a wood dragon. Okay, no, you don't just casually drop this sort of bomb when it's a genuine work of art. No. I mean, that's like chiseled into such impeccable detail. You really got to think about the texture of wood and how much of a pain in the butthole it can be to, actually get these things to get the right design you want. You can't exactly control Z without a lot of effort trying to, glue back on the bark. Now, obviously, with the wing alone, you can tell that some of this wouldn't be like, it's not like it's all the original tree here. Some bits were attached onto it and stuff, but I don't care, okay? No one is allowed to care. It's illegal to care about those sort of semantics. Quick, Trump, write that into your thing. Whatever you do. What are the papers you're signing? Enough autographs. Stop signing the autographs. Sign an actual declaration. It is illegal to complain about this not being entirely one tree on its own. Side note, I swear to God, if someone points out the evidence to me that this actually is all entirely one tree, thank you, honestly, for, correcting me on a fact, but also, shut up. The Tampa IKEA has fake board games on the shelves made by the employees? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm getting the gist here. Sorry. For a second, I thought they genuinely made actual board games that the staff made up. Like, their hiring process is like, do you have any experience in board game development? Because that's what we need right now. Only that. Don't care if you can sell anything, just can you make a board game? We've got the game of existence. I already know what that's a parody of, and I love it. Joint ownership. It's Monopoly for millennials and younger. Forget hungry hippos, it's famished frogs. Sorry, not sorry. A game by that girl in high school who used to always bully you. No clue. It's like Clue, except we keep giving you the hints because you know you suck. Fight boat. It's got nothing in it except tickets to a boat where you go and fight each other. This growth surviving sub-zero temperatures because of an exhaust fan. This is one of those great examples where if you ever could, you struggle to fathom how life could ever find a way to survive in extreme cases, wabam. Life somehow, against all odds, will find a way. It's not going to go far. This is literally, it's probably the best it'll ever be able to become, but hey, it's admirable. I'm sure God thinks the very same of us, as we still have yet to actually bother exploring the cosmos. I found a couple of hummingbird feathers near one of my feeders. A quarter for reference. A quarter? Why not a banana, you fool? Fake. It's clearly fake. It must be AI. No human being would use a genuine, worthy reference image. You use bananas. It's fake news. I don't believe this. Not even real feathers, probably. Husband and I found hair ice on our hike. Hair ice? What? Oh, it's actually a kind of... Okay, you want to know what my brain's thought was here? That they literally, on their hike, found hair from a human being that had gotten a bit stiff and cold and frozen. And that's what hair ice was. And then I saw this, and I'm like, oh, right, no, of course, hair ice, like from a rabbit. Oh, I'm so dumb! Room to change clothes at Japanese hot spring looks like it's written in blood. Oh my god. That's... Why would they choose that consistency? Don't go in. Don't go in. The clothes in question here are bodysuits of flesh that demons use to swap over with so people don't get suspicious that they are a demon. Reduced calorie hot chocolate just had less hot chocolate. Yeah, I made this mistake myself as someone who tries to make myself some nice mockers, but I like to get some nice chocolate, but also I don't want chocolate that's got too many calories. Till it dawned on me that the chocolate I was getting, the reason why it didn't taste as good was because it was literally less chocolate. Do you think I'm an idiot for, not really figuring that out? Yeah, look, you should. You really should. I deserve the shame. I've got to learn. My girlfriend's new meds are spherical. Okay, you make sure you monitor your girlfriend, okay? Because my mate Patrick, he was one of the best workers at this packing plant I used to work out with him. Yeah, doing a lot of shipping orders and stuff, but yeah, just, he got onto these sort of things, and yeah, you knew he was using. You could hear him as he'd hide off in the bathroom stall, popping these things. Such a shame they had to fire him because of it. He was so good at what he did. We used to call him the Pac-Man. So again, just, look out for your girlfriend. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you just hear in the bathroom, you call someone, okay? Minute Maid without yellow 5 I got at work today. Yeah, I definitely needed this image to actually understand what the hell the title post was talking about. Okay, so Minute Maid is a drink, and yep, yellow 5, it's a food coloring thing. A food coloring? A drink coloring? It just helps the drink look a bit more like a less healthy kind of pee, so you're more likely to want to drink it. I mean, that's why us humans drink it, because, yeah, it looks like dehydrated pee. We like that, right? Yeah, no, because I'm not that I wouldn't know, because I am a human. I don't go to a Japanese changing room. I'm not a demon. I just want to confirm everyone else here is human. My mum's mixer still working perfectly after 50 plus years.
Bosh.
Yeah, the risk of sounding like a baby boomer.
They just don't make them like they used to.
That said, for all we know, this mother just never actually used it. So though it may be 50 years old, it's like, the amount of times it's been used, it's probably only like 2 years old. That, or she had the audacity to do the thing that most of us never bother to do and then wonder why our products only last a year. She took good care of it. What do you mean my blend is broken? I only always used to fill things above the line that was recommended for it to be used safely and properly, and always put ice in it when it wasn't actually designed to properly break through ice. You know what though, this post did inspire me to look through an old post that I have archived on my Instagram where I was at an Airbnb in 2018. This was the only hairdryer they had that I could use, and I don't know about you, but it worked, but I just don't think it should sound like it's about to explode every single second it's turned on. All 3 people got dealt the same poker hand. Wow, I have absolutely zero knowledge about poker. I just know that the cards are more important than some other cards. Which, if you think about it, is basically the gist of every single card game out there, so if anything, I'm technically a card game genius. Anyway, here we have the math. Here we have a first attempt at the math, and that being kind of wrong, so they were re-attempting the math. Overall, it is apparently not 4 in a billion, 39 in a billion. So, folks, how does it feel to know that your only, major point of luck that you've experienced in your life, nothing will ever compare to it, is the fact that you got 2 cards that are the same as other people? That's your crowning moment of luck in your life. Not winning the lottery. No. You got 2 cards. Yeah. I bought a box of screws. One didn't have any threads. It's the Ugly Duckling, but for the tradie audience. Working title is The Ugly Screw. I wanted to title it You, but apparently my publisher says that's too on the nose. Scrub Daddy. Brand new versus 3 years of use. My God, you got one to last over 3 years? That Scrub Daddy has cleaned some schmidt. He sees the fresh replacement and, normally you think, I don't want to be replaced. No, this guy's like, thank God, finally, someone can finally relieve me of my duties, Jesus. I can finally retire. Meanwhile, that new guy is very confused because they haven't even been used in the water yet for some reason they feel very moist, as if they are sweating profusely. Snow outside my dorm looked like a blanket. Man, I want to say that Mother Nature is cool, but at the time of recording this, there's still a lot of fires going on in California, and I just... doesn't seem like it's in the best of taste. It's like I'm complimenting someone's nice shoes, but at the same time they've kicked a puppy. It's, yeah, I feel like you don't deserve this compliment from me right now. Snow on the beach in Florida. Florida gets snow? What? But, okay, actually, no, look, false alarm. No, hang on. My brain needed a second to actually load up some, hard disk storage memory there. It's... The realization that the fact Texas also gets snow, I kind of forgot about that. That wasn't in my RAM at this moment in time. And now I feel stupid. I feel like an American who didn't even know where half the other countries in the world were. I apologize. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'll do better. I sorted $562 by year. Oh, wow. Awesome work, buddy. I too am not working today. Now, I know me saying that might imply that I've got some sort of ego about being better than you because you're doing this with your time, unlike me. But I want to assure you, I spent 20 minutes sitting on the toilet scrolling on my phone when I genuinely only needed to use that toilet for about 15 seconds. And I think that's quite beautiful about how we have different ways of entertaining ourselves. You were playing solitaire, and I was getting radicalized. My professor gave us a syllabus stapled together with no actual staples. It's amazing how the power of, hey, let's actually think about this for a little bit longer can suddenly save, probably genuinely thousands of kilos of like staple materials year after year. Let's just make the paper fold in on each other so it actually clips together, like every other piece of building pieces and puzzle things that, like, this method of connecting things that we've been doing in this society for thousands of years. Yeah. Hey, what about that? Stingray tail extracted from a patient after an accident in New Zealand. Oh, thank goodness. I thought we were about to talk about Steve Owen for a second. Oh, man, that's like a solid knife. And here you thought it was just prison where you had to worry about being shanked out of nowhere. I collected tiny pieces of tar on my walk. Wow, nice. On your little walk, you ended up developing a
void of nothing and all that shall be consumed within it.
Do you ever see these kind of spherical shapes of any material and your first thought is like, but can it bounce? Because that's me. That's my brain immediately. Like anything that I kind of hold, I always have this slight thought of like, how well do you bounce? And so this is why I'm not allowed to hold children anymore. SpaceX thermal tiles washing up on the beach. Turks and K Cox this morning. Okay, cool. But also, how much, Like, is it worth stealing or is it genuinely just trash? Like, how equivalent is this to one stealing copper from someone's house or car? I'm just asking for a friend, Like, could it work as memorabilia? I mean, a lot of Hitler's memorabilia is worth a lot of money, so surely Musk's. I collected my wife. And ice unsolicited credit card applications for a year. Wow. They really want to fool you into thinking you have more money by literally giving you stuff to give them more money. It's cheaper to get 2 orders of 10 wings than 1 order of 20 wings. Okay, now here's the thing with this stuff. I don't think it's them being genuinely stupid with the maths of it all. Like, not every establishment benefits from the idea that if you buy more, they actually make more money because it's, less things to have to make at one particular time. But depending on the size of their kitchen space and like how things are managed and run, it can actually be more detrimental to them if they have to deal with bigger orders. It can also be a stock thing as well. They only have a limited stock, so they want to make sure they can spread out that stock as much as possible. Their research data could also say that, hey, when people buy 10 wings, they're more likely to do this, this, and this, versus people who buy 20 wings, they're less likely to order anything else because they've got, so many more wings. On the contrary, I could also be looking way too much into this, and they genuinely are just very stupid with their rates.